Hello, my name's Brian. I've finally got round to making the video about the detail on this mimic panel that I made for my Doncaster Station layout. Feedback I'd received from the video that I put out about it a few months back suggested that I should go into some more detail as to how it was made, and my thanks goes to Kirk 464646 for suggesting this.
I purchased some software called SCARM, that's Simple Computer Aided Railway Modeler, years ago to develop and create the layout. It had a useful feature that enabled you to produce a mimic diagram on the software, which was used later to produce a drawing, a technical CAD drawing that you can see here, for me to send away to have some quotes, to have it made in an anodized aluminium or traffolite label. Having received quotes of £500 for the anodized label and £300 for the traffolite label, I soon went back to the drawing board and rethought things. My son came up with the idea of using the reels of coloured tape that you can purchase for whiteboards for making grids. This photograph shows the early stages of making this mimic. I decided to go with some white melamine boarding, which was 6mm deep. You can see the reels of tape I referred to on the table, and on the far right hand side is a paper copy of the mimic diagram that came from the software I referred to earlier. You can see that each of the roads were laid out in a completed stripe across the board to be later developed into the various turnouts. This photograph shows later development of that layout. You can notice that the yellow lines have now disappeared. I've decided not to use those, and I've settled on just the colours you see here. Here you can see I decided to use the yellow tape just to fill in where the platforms were. To seal everything in, I decided to use some A4 sheets of transparent paper that was sticky backed, and over the platform areas I added the platform numbers and the Doncaster Station totem pole. Total cost of what you see here is just short of £40, a lot better than the £500 we first started off with. You can see I started drilling the board to mount the LEDs and the toggle switches. Here I mounted some lights and a toggle switch just to make sure the holes were of the correct size. I then mounted the front plate onto a frame and then mounted that onto the side of the layout. Having mounted the mimic onto the side of the layout, the first thing I did was mount the Gauge Master 4-track controller unit into the front of the face. On that controller unit, track 1 is used for operating the turntable. Tracks 2 and 3 are used to control the trains on the Super 4 rail that I have on this side of the layout. Track 4 is used as a source to run the LEDs, or to power the LEDs, and is makes them dimmable. I initially used track 4 as the power supply to the point motors and found that they interfered when I operated the point toggle switches. They interfered with the lights would switch off and then come back on again. I posted a video of this over a year ago, and 00 Electronics very kindly put a comment in there and advised me to get a separate supply for the solenoids and the LEDs, which I duly did, and thank you very much. It fixed it. A single track Gauge Master power supply is mounted behind the boards on top of this 4-track. This photo shows the Mimics beginning to be populated with LEDs and toggle switches, and I've identified the various turnouts with some masking tape with a number on them. You can also see the error by turnout 17 that was on the original Mimic that I had to later cut out. Here is an image of the north end of the layout, which has got the power to the switches and LEDs that you can see can be turned right up to be too bright and turned back to a more comfortable level. Here you can see the south end of the layout being prepared for dressing with the LEDs and switches. And this is a final finished item mounted on the side of the board, and what you can't see but you can is all the rat's nest that exists behind that, other than those few wires at the bottom of this screen. Well, that's taken a lot longer than I thought it would. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, and click on notifications, and you will get to see any further published videos of Doncaster Railway layout that I have in my attic. Thank you. Bye.